Good morning. Nope. Good afternoon. How are you guys? Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. Is that what we should call it? Friday Eve? Makes it sound more holiday-y, right? Maybe? Yeah. How's everyone's week going? Short week for many of us, right? We had Labor Day. Curious what you guys all did for Labor Day. As you guys are logging on, let me know you're here. Say hey. There we go, comments. So I'm using StreamYard again, which is great, except for, I'm still learning how to use all the bells and whistles. So we'll just, go. Hello, hello. Let's see. It says we're having some trouble streaming to Facebook. I don't know. Okay. Hopefully you're here. You found us. Let's see. I am just trying to log in. I know that, hey, from Atlanta, what up, you guys? So excited you're here. I always give everyone a few minutes to log in. I know you guys, depending on whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you get the little notification that we're live. And then you got to finish doing what you're doing and then open up Facebook and head on over and find it. So I always try to give everyone a few minutes to jump in and join us before we get into the meat and potatoes of the day. Is that what we call it? Sure, why not? Let's see. All right, comments are there. Too many windows. I have one window completely occupied with you guys. So for those of you not in the tax world, you may not know that we have a big deadline coming up on Tuesday. It is the extension deadline for S Corp and partnership returns for 2019. And I don't know where I was going with that. That's how we've been, right? That's how I feel, of the last 3 or 4 months. It's all just a mush. I'm sure I was telling that story for a reason. I'll come back to it. It's fine. All right. Yeah, let me know you're here. I see everyone, starting to say hey on Facebook. So hello, good afternoon. Curious what people did over Labor Day weekend. I will tell you guys, we rented a house, our extended family. So my parents, my brother, his fiance, my sister and her kid. And we rented a house for the weekend and hung out and just relaxed, which was great. The drive home on Monday was crazy because it's so smoky here, you guys. Between the Colorado fires and the smoke that's reaching us all the way from California, it was you couldn't even see the mountains, which I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but if you're in Denver, you can usually see the mountains, and you couldn't even see the outlines of the mountains. It was so crazy. Yeah, so that was that. And then Tuesday, it was 37 degrees and snowing. So 93 on Monday and smoky, and 37 and snow on Tuesday. So that was an early snow. Funny story before I get started. So I was talking to one of my friends in Texas, and I was sending the pictures. I was like, guys, there's already snow. It's so early. It's only September, 8th on that day. I can't believe it's already snowing here. And she got back to me. She goes, that's weird because I just thought Colorado, it snowed all year round. I was like, no. So, who went to Disney World? Let me look over here. I'm jealous. Yes, snow. So it's all melted. It was melted by yesterday, Ellen. So we're good. Wendy, you went to Disney World? Ugh, so jealous. I'm guessing you went to Star Wars Land, which is called something else. Travis yells at me when I call it Star Wars Land, but I don't remember what it's called. All right. I've rambled on long enough. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right. Sip my coffee. It's decaf. Don't worry. 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm not drinking caffeine anymore. So y'all, thank you as always for being here. If you do not know me, I am Bree Beers of Bree Beers and Associates, formerly Lipa Beers and Associates. Our tax firm we specialize in tax prep for small businesses and individuals, but we know that there is so much more to taxes or to a good accountant than just a properly filed tax return. So we are a client-centered tax accounting firm that strives to educate our audience because we understand that in the non-accounting world, you guys, you don't know what you don't know. So we want to create some clarity on that unknown for you, thus the group and the trainings and all the things, right? So in addition to tax prep and the education we try to provide for you guys, we also provide and love tax planning. Tax planning is our jam because it's where we get to sit down with our clients one-on-one and we get to strategize with y'all to help minimize your annual tax burden and help you keep that extra cash in your pocket to invest back into yourselves or into your business. You guys might be watching this on a variety of places, but if it is not in our awesome Facebook community, Money, Tax, and Finance for Small Business, and you are a business owner, you should definitely hop on over there because it's free and there's a whole bunch of resources and great people out there to help you with various questions. And it's just an awesome little community we have going on there. If you are in Money, Tax, and Finance for Small Business, the Facebook group, and you might be new, just to give you a heads up. So on Mondays at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, we do our normal weekly live training sessions. So this is where we talk about the topics you guys are asking about most often. We are in the middle of a business deduction series. We've done auto expenses, general business expenses, and this upcoming Monday, we are doing home office and what that means. So join us on Mondays for those. Otherwise, we are here Thursdays at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's where you're at right now. And we go over updates from the week and we open it up to live Q&A. So if you guys, that said, if you guys have questions, go ahead and start putting them in the chat wherever you're watching this so we can address those after we get through the few things I have on the agenda for the day. If you ever cannot make it live or you watch a video and you were like, man, I need to watch that again, all the videos are in the Money, Tax, Finance Facebook group, or you can watch them on most of them on the YouTube channel as well. That's where I like to go because I feel like it's so much easier to search for videos on YouTube. So quick disclaimer that I am a CPA, but I am not necessarily your CPA. And if I am, the advice I give on here on the interweb is not, I said interweb, that inside joke. Anyway, the advice I give here, you guys, is not specific to your business. So please make sure you take what we teach you here and you consult your accountant, whether it's me or another accountant. Take what you hear here and pass it on to your accountant and figure out how it actually applies to you and your business. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, we always start Thursdays with updates. And I'm beginning to feel like a broken record because for the last, I don't know how long, it's been, what updates? What updates are there, Bree? Well, there aren't any. There still aren't any. And there aren't any, right? So you guys, to give you an update, like why, if you're new or you're not sure, like why are we so anxious about updates? We have been waiting since July for a second round of COVID relief, a second COVID relief bill. So, we have the CARES Act. And now we're looking for something new, right? And Congress has been working on it since since they passed the CARES Act and everything. Okay, so we keep hoping they're passing something else, something new. And then they were on recess. And then we said, okay, they're on recess till Labor Day. Well, that was last week. So they've been back for 3 days now. But there are holdups, all right? The Senate and the House still don't see eye to eye on a few things. The biggest one being, or one of the biggest ones being the funding they want to allocate to the state and local level governments. Earlier today, multiple news outlets were reporting that the GOP's skinny bill that we talked about, I think last week or the week before, is they think it's certain to fail the Senate vote. So, and that was the only thing that had actually passed one house or the other, all right, or one side of Congress. There's the House and there's the Senate. Okay, I'm an accountant, not a politician. Okay, but I got this. So the new rumor is that you guys, and this is terrible to tell you, but you know what? That's what I'm here for. So I read. Okay, so let me side note. I do not keep up with the news. The only time I consult the news is when I'm getting ready for these updates. I go in to see if Congress has made any headway, made any, steps forward. And in 3 different places, they said that because the 2 sides of Congress are still at a stalemate, that it may be we may not see Coronavirus Relief Act, anything passed before the November election. So, wah, wah, wah. That sucks, because whether you're a business owner or you're waiting on the individual side of things, we're all waiting for something, right? Because we've all heard of these things that could be passed, might be passed. So we're waiting to hear something to figure out what we might get, right? So new rumor is, and again, just a rumor, but the rumor is that we may not have anything until after the election. So of course, I will keep you updated. I'll keep coming back here every week. And if we find anything out, I will absolutely, y'all will be the first to know. But right now we're kind of stuck. So that takes me to questions. I do have a few that have been asked numerous times this week. So I want to touch on those first, and then I will get to the comments, or the ones you guys are leaving in, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or other Facebook. I'll get to your live questions, but I do want to answer these first two because I've just been getting them so much. So I have people, not business owners, I have W-2 employees who are clients of mine asking me about this tax deferral, okay? This Social Security tax, the payroll tax deferral. And whether you're a W-2 employee or you're a business owner, you should listen up, because if this becomes a thing, it affects both of you guys, okay? So this goes back to the president's executive orders that he passed early August, right? We've talked about this week after week because that's the most recent thing we've gotten. We've gotten nothing moving forward after that. But what the tax deferral was is, he said that employees can defer their employee portion of their Social Security taxes from their paycheck for the period of September through December of 2020. All right, so this equates to, I don't remember the percentage. I am so sorry. So, but what that says is you can defer it, meaning you won't have that subtracted from your gross wages for September, October, November, December. But then you have to repay that in the period of January through April 2021. Okay, so it's not free money. I have a lot of people thinking as an employee, it means they're just getting more of their paycheck, which they are for a temporary amount of time, but you have to pay it back. All right, you do have to pay it back. So it's a short-term loan, okay, of your taxes. And how you will, from an employee side, again, I'm going to talk about employee and employer side. So from the employee side, guys, you'll have less taken out of your paycheck for September, October, November, December, but then you'll have more taken out from January through April, because you're going to have your normal Social Security taxes taken out, and then you're going to have to repay this loan you took. Okay, and hold on, I'm looking something up for you guys. Okay, so then from an employer side, all right, so from an employer side, if you decide to offer this to your employees, okay, then you'll work with your payroll company or with QuickBooks if you do payroll through QuickBooks, but you'd work with whatever platform you run payroll through to record that deferral, and then starting in January, you would set it up through your payroll to pay back that loan, all right? But as an employer, I need you to listen up, okay? If your employee leaves at any time before they pay the full amount back, you as the employer are responsible for paying that. Okay, I'm going to say that again. If you offer this tax deferral to your employees and they take it and you leave, they leave before they're able to pay the full amount back, you as the employer have to pay. You're responsible for that money, for paying that back to the government. Okay, the Social Security side, guys, it's 6.2%. Okay, so if you have a paycheck of gross wages of $1,000, then we're talking $62. It's $62 that you're getting in your pocket now that you will pay back at the beginning of 2021. So again, I am not your tax advisor. If I am, we can have a talk about this, but I'm not recommending to any of my clients that they do this. All right. From coming from the side of things where I think about the backside, the paperwork, the tracking, the administration of these things, I can't imagine what a pain in the butt this is going to be to handle. All right. And again, if an employee quits, you have to be responsible for paying that back. So what we're hearing is that so we weren't sure if this was an opt-in or an opt-out program. Okay, what I'm hearing now is that you have to opt out of it. So if this is not something that you want to offer to your employees as a business owner, you need to contact your payroll provider and figure out how to opt out of this program. All right. All right. Any questions on that, on the tax deferral part? All right, we're good. I'll come back if you guys have questions. So the next question I have before I get to your live questions, you guys. So this is another one I'm getting all the time, and it goes back to the fact that we don't have anything from Congress. So the question is, I've spent my PPP money and I am ready to file for forgiveness. What do I do? All right, this could be and might actually be an entire training in itself. I might have already done this like months ago when we first got guidance. I'll have to look back through the archives. But what do you do? So you're saying you got your PPP money however long ago, you've spent it on whatever you are allowed to spend it on, you spent it accordingly, and now you're ready to apply for forgiveness so you can be done with it, right? Okay, so the first thing you need to do if you are ready to file for forgiveness is contact your bank, because many banks, especially the big ones, they're not accepting forgiveness applications yet. Okay, they're not, because you guys, they're banking on Congress passing some sort of blanket forgiveness for these smaller loan amounts. All right, so they're not accepting any. Okay, they're just hoping. They're just they're putting it off, and not to deter, like not as a disservice to you guys as their clients. They just don't want to do all the process all these forgiveness loans, and then find out they didn't have to do all that work, right? And that's what I'm telling my clients as well. I'm like, I'm happy to help you with your forgiveness application, and this is how much time it'll take, and this is how much it'll cost. But I would hate for you to pay me to do that and, have me and then find out you didn't have to do it. So we are following in line with the banks and telling our clients to hold off on trying to file for forgiveness for completing all the application paperwork. Because again, number one, most banks aren't even taking anything. And then if they are, there's not very many that are. Okay. So even if your bank is accepting applications and you're ready to go to file for forgiveness, then you're free to do so. Go right ahead. But remember that you do have 10 months from the end of your covered period to file for forgiveness. So there's no rush to file for forgiveness unless you have a reason. And we've talked about these reasons, but the biggest reason being that right now, if you file for forgiveness, you're satisfying the FTE, the full-time equivalents, okay? And you have to lay off again. So you want to get your application in before you lay off and you don't satisfy that FTE anymore. Okay, that is really or you have to cut hours, because those two requirements in order to get full forgiveness is you keep your number of employees and you keep your hours the same. Okay, so if you're at the point now where you're like, okay, everything's good, I'm satisfying the FTE, I didn't cut anyone's pay, but in 3 weeks I have to, then I get your urgency to file that forgiveness application, okay? But if it's just because you want to get it off your plate, you guys, that just, to me, that's not a reason to rush through and get this done, okay? When I am fairly confident, I'm confident that some sort of blanket forgiveness is going to be passed. Okay, so that how much we don't know. We keep hearing 150,000, like loans under 150,000 will be, they'll fall under that blanket forgiveness, but we don't know. We have no idea because they haven't passed anything yet. So you guys, let me sidestep here real quick. If this is you, if you're like, wait, I think I might need to file sooner rather than later. My bank is accepting, but I don't know. That is why we have these PPP consultations, these personalized PPP strategy sessions for you guys. And I will roll back to that in a second. But questions like that are exactly what these strategy sessions are made for. Okay. So let me get back on track. So step one is contact your bank, because if your bank isn't accepting applications, there's nothing you can do. All right. There, in terms of actually filing for that forgiveness. So step 2 is, while you wait for Congress and the banks to make a move, you guys, you can and you should make sure you have and or are spending your money in a way that maximizes your forgiveness. Okay. I know a lot of you are still spending money because you either got your loan later, or you're using the full 24 weeks, or for whatever reason, you still have your PPP funds and you're still figuring out ways to spend it in the ways that will get it forgiven. All right. So step 2, while you're waiting to apply for forgiveness, make sure you have or you are spending your money in a way that maximizes your forgiveness. Okay, because remember, even if blanket forgiveness is granted, you guys, you're still going to need to certify that you spent the money correctly, that you spent it on the correct expenses and in the right amount of time. Okay, and you still have to keep records, not only for potential future SBA audits, but likely for your 2020 tax prep as well. And if you own a business and you do not have a tax professional doing your tax return, like maybe you've done it before for yourself in the past, that's fine, no judgment here. But if you have a PPP loan in 2020, you do not want to prepare your own tax return. Okay, you want to find a tax accountant who has knowledge of PPP and the understanding of that, okay? That can be me, that can be someone else, but you do not want to self-prepare your 2020 tax return if you're a business with a PPP loan. And you don't just want to go to Joe Schmo CPA or Joe Schmo tax accountant to do it either. You need to find someone who has the PPP knowledge, okay? Because you guys, I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours learning the PPP stuff, and I still, there's still a lot of stuff to learn. Okay. And I know that there are a lot of tax accountants out there who didn't keep up with it, who just were kind of like, I'm not dealing with this. I have too much other stuff going on. And so you want to make sure that when you're looking for an accountant, that you specifically ask what their experience with PPP and their understanding of PPP is. Okay. If you have a PPP loan. Okay. Off my soapbox. Okay. And so that said, in the comments, you guys, in order to make sure you're keeping track of your expenses, spending it correctly, all the things, make sure you're using our PPP tracker. Okay, if you do not already have this downloaded, you need to get this. It is a phenomenal tool that, whether you end up getting blanket forgiveness, whether you end up self-preparing your forgiveness application or having someone else do it, this tracker will make your life so much easier and so much. It'll just help you, okay? So download that PPP tracker and make sure you're using it. And then you guys, you wanna create a file for your supporting documents. Even if, like I said, even if there's blanket forgiveness and you don't end up having to submit all of your documents to your bank, you still need to have a file that has all that in there for your, not only your tax accountant at the end of the year, but for any potential SBA audits down the road, okay? So me, I just have a folder on my hard drive where I'm sticking all my bills that I'm paying with my PPP money, where I've put payroll reports, all the things, all right? So that's step 2. Make sure you have your records and your ducks in a row and make sure you're spending that money right, all right? And then step 3, if you want, is to schedule a personalized PPP strategy session with me. All right, I'll make this fast. I am not usually on here to pitch you guys, but what I am on here to do is help you. And there's only so much I can do for you guys in these general trainings. So that's why we created these personalized PPP strategy sessions. It's 30 minutes of you and me one-on-one. Okay. You can, share your PPP tracker with me, to ask me to say, does this look good? We can talk about certain questions you might have on expenses that may or may not qualify. We could talk about the full-time equivalents if you're concerned about that. Whatever it is you want to know about, let's talk. All right. Let me share my hundreds of hours of PPP expertise with you in a Zoom meeting that we'll record and you can have. All right. It's an investment that will save you. I'll tell you, they're $250 for 30 minutes of my time, undivided, and you will get that back in tenfold. Is that what it's called? Because it will save you either a ton of time, or we could actually sit down and find out that we can see if we can maximize your forgiveness if you haven't maximized it yet. So definitely worth investing into. If you are planning on completing the forgiveness or applying for the forgiveness on your own. All right. We've already had some strategy calls and we are getting nothing but awesome feedback so far. So I'm really stoked about that. And even you guys, even if you have a CPA who you love and you don't plan on leaving to come to us for tax work, that's fine. I can help you with I can still have a PPP strategy session with you, help you with that. And then you can go back to your CPA. Totally fine with that. My goal is just to make this as easy as possible for as many people as I can. All right. So this is the best way I know how to serve many of you. All right. And that brings me to the last part, that if you are not a DIYer and you just want to hand your PPP tracker to someone and say, here, I want nothing to do with completing the forgiveness application, I'll help you out there too. All the links for any of these services, you guys, are in the comments. So whether it's just the PPP tracker you need, if you want to schedule a strategy session, or if you want to schedule a free consultation to discuss the pricing and services for the full service PPP stuff. It's all there. All right, so let's check on the questions. So Wendy says, I have a client whom we have set up on a payment. Oh my God, start your words over. I have a client whom we have set up a payment plan / auto pay in July. To date, the IRS has not taken a payment out. What can we do next? Only call them? You're going to hate my answer, but yes. And I don't know about you, but there's so many things right now. We call the IRS and we get a message that says they're too busy to even, like, you can't even wait on hold. You get a message that says they're too busy to take your call. Call back later. Pro tip, if you do have to call the IRS or any taxing agency, find out their hours of operation. For here, Wendy, when we call the practitioners line, I can't remember if you can call I think it's 7 to 7 local time. So if you call it 7 in the morning or 6 at night, it's usually it's like the best time to call. I've found, and so is my team. So just a pro tip there. So that's that. I don't see any other questions. Let me refresh just to make sure. Ooh, Ellen rode horses this weekend. Jealous. You guys all did great things. Okay. Cool. All right. So I'm going to just end with a few announcements. It is 2:30. That time went fast. So important 2019 extension deadlines coming up. If you've already filed your 2019 return, you don't have to listen for the next 30 seconds. But if you have not, dates to keep in mind. If you have an S Corp or a partnership, your return is due September 15th. That is Tuesday. That is like 5 days from now. So get your return filed. We unfortunately cannot help you in a timely manner. If you don't mind being late and paying penalties, we can help you, but we are at our capacity for we're at capacity for returns we can get done and filed by Tuesday, because it is only 5 days away. If you are on your individual level, if you have an individual return for 19 that you have not filed yet, those are due October 15th. Okay, October 15th. If you are a current client, get your stuff in. Next week is the deadline to get your stuff in to file. We're not taking on new clients for 2019 tax prep at all. Again, we just don't have the capacity to do that. But if you're interested in using us for anything else, 2020 tax planning, or if you have some business consulting you need to do with us, happy to help you out. Happy to take on new clients. Which brings me to tax planning. Tax planning will begin in November. Okay, if that is a service that interests you, or you maybe want more information, what is tax planning? Can I benefit from tax planning? Get on our email list and keep an eye out on your email at the end of October. Okay, I'll start sending out things, start sending out details about our tax planning packages, how to schedule, and that'll all start happening. Those emails will come out at the end of October, and then we'll start tax planning in November and December. So that's it. If there's any other way I can serve you guys that I'm not thinking of, please let me know. I'm happy to. So I'm reading the comments now. Karen says, "Oh dear heavens to Betsy, what deadline did I miss?" Karen, you didn't miss anything. We got you, girl. Karen is one of our favorite clients. She has, and you know, Karen, we got you. Pretty sure we got you filed. Not pretty sure. I know we got you filed before crazy COVID. Yes, 19. Tax planning info for 2020. Yeah, you haven't missed anything, Karen. Nothing yet. Yes, so tax planning will, you guys, like, it's been such a crazy year. that normally I know exactly what the rest of the year looks like. And I am so far behind because I'm still doing tax returns. Like, and normally it's always extension season. Like, this is not normal. Nothing changed. But usually, let me just, before I hop off, usually tax day was April, 15th. And then we kind of have a little bit of a vacation. And then in the summer, we do mid-year tax planning. And then we get into 2019 extensions. And then after that, we do year-end tax planning. And there was no vacation and there was no mid-year tax planning, because tax day just got moved to July. So it all just kind of mushed together. So everything's just kind of mushed. It's fine. We'll get through it. Everything will be okay. All right. So yes, if you are interested in tax planning, even if it's just what is it? How could I benefit? Could I benefit? Get on our email list and be on the lookout at the end of October for those emails that will give you guys some more information. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Other than that, I will see you guys Monday for the final part of our business deduction training, which is on home office deduction. So I will see you guys Monday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard